Preet, who worked on her campaign directly, supported Tanmanjeet all the way through, and really put the pressure on, because it took a lot. Not only to get them shortlisted, but then for them to be successful. They ran a great campaign, both of them did. Both of them increased the majority. And since then, what we've seen is an absolute whirlwind change of issues being raised, discussed in Parliament, matters being progressed that have taken years to get to the table of government, that are happening in days and weeks because they're in the corridors. And both of those are genuinely Pantak. So they have a real understanding of the Sikh issues. Tanmanjeet has a Sikh identity. There's always a Dastara in Gursek there. And Preet is, as chair of the APPG now, for British Sikhs, is raising these issues directly with ministers, with MPs, and getting cross-party support, because as Sikhs, they're members of all parties. It's not just Labour, it's Conservatives, it's Liberal Democrats, so SNP. So I think that has been the biggest change since the election, that we now have Sikhs, but really, we only have two. And we still don't have true representation in the Lords. So we should, based on our numbers, we should have 6 or 7. And I think what it does do is shows people in the community role models. That actually you can make it to the top. And when you make it, you can be effective. Preet has been a member of the Home Affairs Select Committee, which is one of the most powerful select committees in government. Now she's a shadow minister for DFID, for environmental development. And similar with Tanmanjeet, these guys are very well known and respected politicians in their own right. So it shows that we have that talent. They've shown they can break those ceilings. And I think now it's up to all Sikhs at home that are in either local politics, local councillors, or professionals that want to come in and do the national representation. Because you don't always have to go through the councillor route. You can be a professional and take up the seat of an MP. I think it's people identifying they've got something to add and go for it. It's not easy. I will never say it's easy, but nothing is. So you take the challenges in your day-to-day career. Why not politically and represent? But I would say for any Sikh out there is really understand your community as well.
Of course.
Because I think you have an added duty as a Sikh candidate to support your community, being a minority as well.
Of course. Another issue I know you've been following closely, the Census 2021. How crucial do you believe it is that there is a Sikh ethnic tick box in the Census 2021?
I think this is probably one of the most fundamental issues of our generation. This campaign has been going on for 20 years now, 2 decades, since the last census, 2001, and then 2011, where even legal action was taken. And I think just to give the views and just to explain it, because people sort of misunderstand the issue. It's not about ethnicity per se. Fundamentally, there's 3 issues here. One, the census is the UK government's framework. It is the mechanism in which everybody in this country is monitored, recorded, all the statistics and data is collated, both at a national level through census, but locally, because what many people miss is those census definitions and categories across many questions then form the basis of local government monitoring and recording. So they will take sort of replicate those at a local level across all departments. So there's 40,000 public bodies in this country that use the census data. And why is ethnicity important? Because in the 2001 Equalities Act, it made it law to record ethnicity on what the ethnicity background is of anyone using services and how you provided services. So when we say that, what does that mean? That means how many people are going to school from an ethnic background? How many people are going into hospitals on what ethnic background? How many people are victims or perpetrators of crime? How many people are in need of welfare, housing, social care? Everything, tax, affluency, living areas, where do people live, what's their contribution to society? Every decision, every walk of life is defined and made up by your ethnic background, because that's the framework. And every local council and national government then allocate resources based on its population's ethnic background. So that's the framework that happens today. If you look at ethnicity, it's a mix. The census is a mix of nationalities, skin colour. The reality is, if you look at true ethnics, Sikhs and Jews are the only true defined legal ethnicities. And that's the second option, is by law. In 1983, the House of Lords, the highest law of the land in this country, in the case of Mandela versus Lee, defined Sikhs as a race and a religion, so both. And religion is clearer. They defined us as a race on the counts of we have a distinct identity, we have a historical culture, we have our own language, and we've had sovereignty and nationhood in the Sikh Raj, Sikh kingdom, that there are distinct people. And those are the considerations and characteristics that 5 law lords unanimously decided that Sikhs are both an